Why didn't Professor Mahmood explore the 14 days window offered to him by the court to purge himself of the contempt of court? The trend is worrisome. Perhaps this informs why a judge of the Anambra State High Court, Justice Promise Oti, has threatened to stop sitting if the disobedience to her court orders continues. To men of the press, we at the Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness, a coalition of over 97 civil society and non-governmental organizations registered in Nigeria under the Corporate Affairs Commission, have gathered here to call the attention of Nigerians to a disturbing trend where those who preside over institutions that are created by law and are saddled with the constitutional responsibility of preserving order, disobey court orders at will. Let me digress a bit. The contemporary democratic state of the world was achieved through a long and tortuous journey from the state of nature, authoritarianism, totalitarianism, monarchy, and finally, we arrived at the democratic state where order, sanity, and civility are invoked and sustained through the Constitution. Our interrupted Fourth Republic is a product that has been fortified and potentially ossified by this timely trajectory. Today, perhaps, the most worrisome issue in Nigeria is the glaring evidence arising from the judgment of the FCT High Court, Buhari Division, which found Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman of INEC, guilty of contempt of court. Evidently, on November 9th, 2023, the court pronounced its judgment thus. It is well established in legal jurisprudence that court orders must be obeyed and respected. Parties to litigation are duty-bound to adhere to the directives of the court. Disobedience of court order undermines the sanctity of the judiciary and the rule of law. The first respondent, that is Victor Ikeoye, and the second respondent, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the chairman of INEC, have committed contempt by disobeying the subsisting order of this court made on the 11th of May 2023, and I so hold. Furthermore, Honorable Justice M.A. Madugu stated, having established the disobedience of the first respondent and second respondent to the order of this court made on the 10th of May 2023, since the purpose of committal proceedings is to ensure that the order of the court are upheld and respected, I hereby adopt a lenient view and order that the first and second respondents should purge themselves of contempt within 14 days. Effective from today, that is the 9th day of November 2023. He further stated that the case is hereby adjourned to the 9th of November 2023 to enable the respondents purge themselves of the contempt or face the wrath of the law. The court held. The above extract from the judgment of the court is clear, unambiguous, and impeccable. However, our concern as civil society organizations is, why did Professor Mahmood explore the 14 days? Why didn't Professor Mahmood explore the 14 days window offered to him by the court to purge himself of the contempt of court? The trend is worrisome. Perhaps This informs why a judge of the Anambra State High Court, Justice Promise Oti, has threatened to stop sitting if the disobedience to her court orders continues. Visibly angry when she entered the court on Thursday, that is the 25th of January 2024, Justice Oti of High Court 3, Oka Judicial Division, told lawyers and litigants that she had come only to announce that she had decided to stop sitting until proper explanations were given for the non-compliance with orders made by her court. Ladies and gentlemen, our society in which court orders are treated with levity is doomed. It doesn't matter whom the law favors. Therefore, beneficiaries of any court judgment should be protected by the law and supported to enjoy the dividends arising therefrom. We call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the highest beneficiary of court judgment in Nigeria as it stands today, that he is duty-bound to stop this impunity. Just imagine what would have become of Nigeria if the court judgment of the Supreme Court affirming him as the president and commander-in-chief was flouted and was not obeyed. We also call on Chief Lateef Fagbemi SAN, the Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Minister of Justice, as the Chief Law Officer to intervene and prevail on Professor Yakubu Mahmood to recognize Chief Edozie Njoku as the National Chairman of ABGA. We call on Malam Nuhu Ribado, the National Security Advisor to Mr. President, to intervene on this matter because disobedience to court orders is an invitation to self-help. Finally, we call on Professor Mahmood Yakubu, the Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to obey the judgment of the FCT High Court Buhari Division, which clearly stated that Chief Edozie Njoku is the National Chairman of ABGA. Thank you. This statement is signed by myself and on behalf of our coalition. Yes, you see, the INEC chairman has been duly communicated and he has been served with respect to this judgment. So we intend also to have a roundtable with the INEC chairman so that we know what is happening with reference to INEC. But we believe that the right thing should be done. And the right thing is that the order of the court must be respected. The sanctity of the judiciary must be upheld at all times. Thank you. Welcome. Not for too long. That of ABGA is peculiar. It has its peculiarities. I recall that the Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land as far as the Federal Republic of Nigeria is concerned, has ruled unequivocally that Chief Edozie Njoku is the chairman of ABGA. Then this court order, as stated, as pronounced by the Supreme Court, was flouted. Then some persons that are members of ABGA also approached the court of competent jurisdiction in Buhari, trying to investigate why the court order as made by the Supreme Court was flouted. And they also got a judgment that stated very clearly that the INEC chairman is found guilty of contempt of court, and Mr. Oye also, who parades himself as the chairman. What we are saying is that the case of ABGA, has been there for a very long time. And we feel that as it affects INEC, which is an institution established by law, which is an institution that depicts democracy as it were, that it is imperative, it is pertinent that Professor Mahmood, who is the chairman of INEC, respects the judgment of the court and do the needful. We know Professor Mahmood very well, and we know he's a true Democrat. But we keep wondering what is happening as far as this case of APGA is concerned. We are worried as civil society organizations. Our coalition, therefore, feel that it is pertinent to, in a very polite and proactive manner, ask Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who is also my personal friend, to obey the court order and do the needful in line with court pronouncements.
What do you have to say about, what do you have to say about other parties that are going to this?
Now, you see, before we come out for a press briefing, we embark on empirical studies. We do not I just say come to make address the press just like that. We do empirical review, we do studies, we do findings, we do personal investigations before dabbling into any matter. We do not dabble into matters that are not very clear to us. So we have legal department, we have legal team, we have those that do investigation on issues before we come into it, as the case may be. Thank you.